Now we'll move on to the next question, which is about regional schools. Harry Homebody got accepted to a T-14 school far away.
He's definitely not hot.
Oh, for the purpose of this fact pattern, we'll say he is. He was also accepted at Blackacre State School of Law, what used to be a second-tier law school, but now is with everybody because everybody's a first-tier law school now, I guess. Hooray. But the best school in his region and somewhat cheaper. Harry plans to work in Blackacre after graduation. Should Harry select his top school or stay in his region? And they'll start with Nick here.
All right, so just to clarify, the top school in the region versus another.
No, he got into let's say he got into Stanford or actually let's not even do that. Let's say that he got into Columbia, and he also got into the best school in his state.
Right. So in that case, again, I think you're talking about a regional school versus a national school. The national school, you should you should go to the national school. Everything else is equal over a regional school, just for two reasons. One, you don't know if 3 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, you'll want to practice somewhere outside of your region. And a law degree is going to stay with you your entire career. Second, with a national school, you can come back to any region of the country. With a regional school, you're going to be stuck in that region, so to speak. So I would go with the national school.
Nick, what if the regional school is free and the national school costs you your firstborn child?
Right, I think that's a factor to weigh in. My original answer was assuming everything else was equal. And certainly, if you're going to be over $200 in debt, and you know for sure you want to practice in one region, that debt issue may be a tiebreaker that comes back that you just decide to go to the regional school. But I think the thing to consider is, are you willing to go to a national school where you could go somewhere else in the country to practice relatively easily, at least compared to the regional school, or the $200,000 in debt outweigh that fact? And that's really something that's personal up to you.
So you seem to be giving a pass to the idea of going to a national school?
I would give a pass to the national school.
Okay, great. Jenna?
I would agree, but disagree. I think that it would be important if you got into a top 14 school, if that's absolutely what you wanted to do. I think that's great. At the same time, I think that there's something to be said about great regional schools. If you know you want to practice in the region, I think that it weighs heavily with employers in that region if you go to one of those schools. I really think that it's a personal decision, like y'all said. Basically, if it's cheaper and it fits for you and you're comfortable and you're closer to home, maybe that's something that's important to you. So I definitely think it's personal, but I definitely agree that if you go to one of the top schools, you have a lot of options after that.
What if it's HYS? Is there ever really a good reason to go to, let's say, the best school in the Southeast versus Yale? Shouldn't you kind of always go to Yale in that situation?
I don't know that I agree with that, because what if you're a lower fish in Yale versus being the top dog at your regional school? I think that there's something to be said for being at the top of your class or being better off. So if you're going to really stand out at a local school, I think you're better off than having not really stood out in Yale.
Interesting. I kind of feel like it's more like you could be the biggest fish in the biggest pond in your regional school, or you could be a submarine and go to Yale.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually. I think the cost difference is really the issue. You're willing to pay more for Yale or Harvard over the regional school. But I would certainly think that a lower ranked student at Yale, even let's say a bottom 10% student at Yale, is still a Yale law grad who's going to have options that even a top student at a regional school is not going to have.